Hey Weirdos, this is Evan Jarvix with Make Oklahoma Weirder, and this is your local music vlog for the week. It is Saturday morning, July the 15th, and we got to talk about Best of OKC 2019, Oklahoma Gazette. Those nominations are open. The ballot is open, been open for 10 days, and I really should have brought it to your attention a week ago. If you follow me on Twitter, I did do some there, but unless you actually read the Gazette and have been seeing all the ads for everybody trying to clamor for a nomination, you may have completely missed this, and I didn't catch it when it first came out either. But the nominees are open. This is your chance to get chosen as a top 5 of any respective category, which then gets voted on later. So if you are an artist, it's time to rally those troops. You gotta get your fans out and voting for you to be one of the best bands in Oklahoma City. If you are a music fan, this is your chance to vote for your favorite band. Not necessarily just bands either, because they've used inclusive language this year, which I really dig, and is a suggestion myself and probably some other people gave the Gazette last year and in the past, that original music should include all genres and shouldn't necessarily be considered just the best band, which it has been traditionally. They've also separated out the cover bands into their own category, which has been a complaint from a great many local artists. So thank you, Oklahoma Gazette, for listening to your music community. We greatly appreciate what you've done this year. So yeah, it's worded nicely. It's like a band / singer, and then there's like a parentheses. It says like singer-songwriter, hip-hop artist, and all that. Just basically if you're making original music in the Oklahoma City area, or maybe even Tulsa. I think Tulsa artists have won this thing before. So, if you're a part of the Oklahoma City music scene in any way and you make original music, you live here, that's pretty much the big deal. So get yourself nominated. Go to vote.okgazette.com or bestofoklahomacity.com. They both go to the same place. Get out there. Even if you don't win this thing, being in the top 5 is a big deal. Your name gets in print. It gets out in front of thousands and thousands of eyes, and people will think of you as one of the best artists around. Whether you are or you aren't, it's always subjective. But if you can rally your fans together, you can make it happen. Again, there's 2 days left for this. Monday is the deadline. And moving on. Hurd on Hurd. Hurd on Hurd is happening tonight. I want to shout out Tower Theater yet again for creating another stellar lineup. They've been doing a really good job of showing that family-friendly music and, music that's safe for everyone and appeals to everyone. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to draw from the same 20 bands or draw from the same genres. And I really appreciate the diversity that they're bringing to Hurd on Hurd for the first time in a while. Spunk Adams, saxophonist extraordinaire, is opening up. Then Chelsea Cope, who everybody knows, of course. And then Weston Horn and the Hush, which I'm really excited about. That is a Tulsa band, if you're not familiar, and they don't make it down here very often. So, really big get there. Weston Horn and the Hush I've been following since at least Volume 1, which was their LP from a few years back, made my top 10 singles of the year that year. They're a big band. It's Weston Horn and the Hush. So it's kind of like a singer-songwriter-led sort of rock and roll thing with, horn section, full-on band situation. If you're familiar with Matt Stansbury and the Romance, kind of similar. Definitely a different kind of rock and roll sound, but there is definitely a retro throwback element to it that is similar. Also, check out their NPR Tiny Desk concert if you haven't seen it. It's phenomenal. So shout out to Hurd on Hurd doing that. By the way, Hurd on Hurd, I didn't see a poster this month, so I didn't include it in my website show recommendations. I gave it to somebody else who had a poster. So I don't know if anybody from Hurd on Hurd's going to see this, but I do appreciate when you put the posters with the the musicians and their starting times on there. I know you've done it in the past, just may have not gotten it out this month. But moving on, want to mention the Blues, Brews, and Barbecue Fest, which is happening in Bricktown this weekend. It started last night. It's continuing tonight. I feel like this is something a lot of people overlook, and it's a cool thing. It's free, and you get some high-quality local music on top of it. Callow is, I think, I don't know if you would say headliner, but definitely closing the night. Tonight, Dustin Pitsley Band is also playing tonight. There were some great performers last night. But if you dig, it's blues, but probably filtered through a bit of a maybe southern or rock kind of feel. Based on the artists that I've seen, I don't know if you're getting some really true blue, like, solo electric guitar, kind of old-fashioned, like roots blues or anything, but it is blues influenced music and artists that certainly have blues elements in their music, and will probably be emphasizing those for this show. This is happening, I think there's like 6 or 7 bands playing tonight. Like I said, it's free. It's in Bricktown. I think more people should know about this. It's definitely something that people know about in certain circles of the scene, but a lot of the circles that I'm more a part of don't really seem to really be a part of it. So, Blues, Brews, and Barbecue, free show. Beach Language, new album coming out Tuesday. Really excited to see these guys finally have a full-length album. Really enjoyed their EPs from the past. They were one of my top EPs from 2016, and got to do a fun article with one of their lead singles, which dropped yesterday. So you can read that on the blog. Did a special premiere and exclusive write-up for them, which is at makeoklahomaweirder.com. So check that out, and be on the lookout for that album. Really excited for this sort of synth. I don't really call them synth pop, because that kind of gives you a certain like dream pop feel, I think, sometimes. But synth pop with like some rock elements for sure. Just good stuff. Small Talk is the album title. It's kind of conceptual. I really dig it, and that's coming out Tuesday. I want to mention Eliza B real quick. She just had a couple of her last shows here in town. One of them was at the Blue Door, with her companions in the Tequila Songbirds, which she has been a notable member of. That band predates me, so I haven't been around since the beginning to kind of see, that lineup sort of change over the years. But I know Eliza B is a huge part of that, a huge part of country music group Therapy down at the Deli. Really just anything kind of with those groups of people. Those kind of Normanite folksters, folk singer-songwriters, amazing fiddle player as well. Moving to Kansas City, just wanted to, bid you well on your future there, and look forward to seeing you come back and perform for us again here in Oklahoma City whenever you get a chance. Speaking of Tequila Songbirds, I never gave a shout out to Kirsten White and Derek Paul. So they got married recently. Congratulations to you guys. Gonna mention Westering real quick. Kind of a buzzy band that I've been really excited about finally getting to hear some music from. Haven't played a lot of shows. They had a couple of demos, but I have not seen them. I've not heard anything from them, just heard a little bit of buzz about them. Finally dropping a new single from a forthcoming EP, if you dig your kind of indie alternative rock with a bit of atmosphere, a bit of epic scope, lots of just really big rock kind of, I don't know. It's really good. I'll come up with better words later, but I'm really, really, really excited about Westering. They're not trying anything new per se, but they're definitely nailing something that definitely gets my gears going. So, don't have a whole lot of time here. I want to mention Robert Heffling up from Tulsa, has a Kickstarter, singer-songwriter, awesome. Really, check it out. I shared it on Facebook recently, and I'll be sure to share that again in the future. And before I check out here, want to shout out JB. JB, keeping the radar on when it comes to problematic artists coming to Oklahoma and playing. If you've been following the escapades on Twitter, it's been something. But really putting himself out there on the line for us, and really appreciate your watchdog nature, JB. Thank you.